Hello and welcome to Access Community Television, shamelessly promoting our friends and community. My name is Sid Tan, and with us today in the studio is Karen Gilchrist, a single mother who lives with her 8-year-old daughter Nadia at Heather Place. She's also has a master's degree in social work and works for the Fraser Health Authority. Welcome to the show, Karen.
Thank you for having me, Sid.
It's so great to have you here. And I just wanted to talk about Heather Place, which I understand is up for redevelopment at this particular time. Can you tell us a little about Heather Place?
So Heather Place is the home of 86 families, over 150 children, mostly many of them new Canadians or single mothers.
And I understand that the redevelopment going on there, you have some concerns about them. And in an article that you wrote in the Mainlander with Nathan Crompton, you spelled out those 4 concerns. I'm just wondering if you can just give us a brief overview of what those 4 concerns are.
So our 4 major concerns are income testing, right to return, gentrification, and as well the shaky finances and broken promises that have been historic in Vancouver for social housing.
Okay, let's start with the gentrification part. What are your concerns around gentrification at Heather Place?
Well, mixed housing has been a success in many different areas, and so we feel at this time point, with the child poverty rate 9 years running being the highest in Canada, and affordable housing being the largest expense for families, that we are really concerned and feel that it's irresponsible of Metro Vancouver Housing Corporation and the City of Vancouver to rezone and redevelop this area, displacing the 86 families and 150 children.
Okay. The other one too, I think that you're talking about is the income testing loopholes. You are a single mother, you're working full time, and I understand that you may have difficulty returning even though you are paying market rent now.
Yes, and so what happens there is that I have full student loans and I have child care costs. Those costs are not considered when applying for a subsidy. Currently, the rent is is $1,100 for a 2-bedroom. That's within my manageable level with those costs considering. But if it goes up to $1,800 minimally, as Metro Vancouver Housing Corporation has dictated, it is not affordable for me. And so when you have 46% of single mothers living below the poverty line, and I live above the poverty line, where does that leave us, right? We're actually discouraging single mothers from gaining education and trying to make lives better for themselves and their children.
And on top of this, there's what you call the broken promises and shaky finances part. What is that? I'm not quite sure what that is.
So Metro Vancouver Housing Corporation has said, okay, give us your income information and we'll go back to our bankers and get the finances for this development. However, we can't really fully promise that you'll be subsidized and can come back. And this has happened historically with Little Mountain Housing, where 270 families 5 years ago were displaced off of there. We actually have a couple of Little Mountain families living at Heather Place, and this has been their sanctuary, and they're going to lose that now. As well as we look at what happened at Olympic Village. That was supposed to be 2/3 social housing. Those people, that hasn't happened, and the shallow subsidies that have been provided, people can't afford to stay because there's extraneous fees such as that are on over and above a subsidy. So no one even that has received the subsidies is actually staying anymore.
We're running pretty much out of time now. You're doing a lot of organizing, you're doing a lot of things. I had the pleasure of going to your open house at Heather Place yesterday, and it was fun. You had the local vocals, lots of music, and there are many things going on. I'm just wondering if people want to get involved in this campaign or talk about affordable housing, especially what's going on at Heather Place, how can they contact you or how can they get involved?
Well, please definitely look at the Social Housing Alliance webpage. We've worked closely with them and I volunteer with them, as well as please email me at saveheatherplace@gmail.com.
Right. Thanks for being with us. Is there anything final you'd like to say before we go?
I think that we have an opportunity here to really make a difference, and we really want the community to cry out about this. There is a public hearing pending. Perhaps Vision Vancouver is not allowing this to go through prior to the election because they don't want to be seen as dislocating 150 children out of their homes. But this is what they're doing. So we need to send a very strong message to them that this is not going to be tolerated.
Thanks for being with us today, Karen.
Thank you very much, Sid.
We've been with Karen Gilchrist, who's trying to save the Heather Place for affordable housing. My name is Sid Tan for Access Community Television, shamelessly promoting our friends and community. Until we meet again, straight shooting and tight edits.